Don't think this is just another self-help podcast. It's not.
Well, what is it?
It's still a hot mess, where we ask the question, is self-help helping?
Every episode, we discuss, debate, and sometimes diss an aspect of the self-improvement movement.
We want to know, is it all too much? Has it gone too far? Is it making us even more neurotic? Is this self-help or self-help?
You make a mess of me.
So here's something that I have said, and I don't know if I'm, copying a phrase or whatever, but I've said, I share, therefore I am. It used to be, I think, therefore I am human.
Yep, heard that
and
one.
I feel like we're in the age of self. I share, therefore I exist, right? Therefore I am.
God,
and
that's true.
I think that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the inundation of self-help materials that ultimately gone too far? ? So interesting topic today. Over to you.
Yeah, you're right. It's a very self-indulgent time. And, with our podcast, we put self-help under a microscope and, bring its not so helpful things into light. And most episodes, we discuss a particular self-help topic and, of course, debate the shit out of it. But today we're focusing on a particular self-help author, your favorite.
My favorite, my one and only, oh my God, if I wasn't in love with someone else, I'd be a stalker in the world and things would not end well.
Yeah, Mark Manson would definitely
I love him.
Yeah, have some kind of, what's that? What is it when you have to be so many
kinship?
feet away? No. What he would have with you is a
soulmate.
No, a court order.
Oh, right.
To have you stay
soulmate
so
court
many
order.
feet away from
Come
him.
on, guys.
So
when I read him, I feel like I'm reading myself. I feel like he reached down into my soul and went, "What do you want to say, Fanson?" And I'm like,
okay.
"Holy shit, you just said it." And some of the things, even reading his book, I'm like, I say that.
Yeah. So you feel like he's kind of like.
He is me, I am him.
All right, he lives in your head.
Yeah, this is getting a little creepy.
Yeah, definitely. So,
but I dig him. I dig him.
Mark
I
Manson,
like what he has to say.
So Mark Manson, yes, is your boyfriend. I mean,
He's
pretend
my
boyfriend.
boyfriend.
But he's also the author of The Subtle
boyfriend.
Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Or no, hold on, fic, because it's not because there's never the U in the title.
Asterisk.
Exclamation mark, stars and sunshines and unicorns and hearts. So it's The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fick or whatever.
But why did he write that book?
Oh, yeah. So interestingly enough, Mark Manson wrote that book because he realized that there wasn't a self-help book for millennials. So that was kind of like...
So he's trying to break the age of entitlement. He's going, listen, guys.
I think a little
Guys.
bit. I also think that he's a very smart businessman and just saw an opportunity. He saw a market.
And
He's
insightful to boot, because what he's talking about, look, not everyone is going to agree. I do. I think, you know what? Smarten up.
Yep.
Things are uncomfortable. Get used to it. Snowflake. Nothing wrong with, like caring and kindness. I get all that stuff, but like you go too far. It goes too far.
Well, I mean, it's... I don't know. Yeah, it's overwhelming. You don't know what the hell to do first. And as Mark talks a lot about, is incredibly self-indulgent, and we're basically numbing our pain rather than dealing with it.
But in this way, in that fundamentally, people are sheep. We are. Maybe not everybody. I don't want to offend you if you're not. You may say, I am no sheep. And I'm like, well, check it first. But if you're lost or feeling confused, or you have a gaping hole inside you, which most of us do, we're born, we're alone, we're encased in this fragile shell.
Yep.
And we look up and we go, what's up there? What is this? Why am I alone? Is there more? How do I fill this? And that's human. That is human.
Yeah. And
and we're not altruistic, rays of light. Like we are complicated beings, and not everything is pretty, and we don't want to face it. We don't want to face our own ugliness. That's scary. it's scary if you can look at the monster and go, okay, monster, I accept you and I'm not going to lean into that. I don't have to be that, but I recognize it. There's power in that. There's power.
Yeah, I think.
But if we are inundated with be this and, let go of that and all the messages, and we can talk more about the messages. I'm not going to hog the mic right now, but it just becomes noise. I just think it's more noise. And to your point, creates this air of avoidance or this almost denial of the truth of what's going on with you.
Yeah, he points out that the self-help movement is just another way that we numb the pain rather than being okay with it and actually honoring it and moving forward through actually dealing with it head on.
Yeah.
So just to get back to the point that he wrote this book for millennials, he just realized that there's a whole generation that isn't connecting to the more ethereal language of Marianne Williamson or Wayne Dyer or Eckhart Tolle. And he just wanted to
break through the noise, break through the din.
Yeah. With this jazzy title using the F word or fic.
Well, whatever gets people to listen.
Exactly.
That's marketing.
Right. And I think
fair.
it also honors the age where we're in, where we're saying the truth more. We're dishing it in a more candid, humorous level than before.
We don't have the 7 things you can't say on television rule. The same, we've broken through all that. You don't call your parents' friends Mr. or Mrs. Now they're, hey Joe. Hey, Betty.
Exactly. I think this is one
We're
of the
in an
most
informal age.
Casual self-help books available. And it's just off the hip a bit, right?
It's so casual, it doesn't feel like self-help.
Yeah, before
it sounds like it's anti-self-help.
Yeah, before it was, just peaceful thoughts, on and on, with these, beautiful mantras and messages from the heart, and to soothe the spirit. And he's like, okay, no, let's try another.
Yeah, and here's the thing.
Style.
I think a lot of this has to do with timing. So I do support the idea, the absolute necessity of getting out of your own way, getting to know your own bullshit.
Yeah.
And if that takes some reading and investigating in whatever way, shape, or form, no problem.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem that there's some books on the shelf. Right? The self on the shelf, I think is what we talked about last night. I have no problem with that. What I do have a problem with is that we are inundated with it. Again, to our point, has it gone too far? The question mark doesn't exist for me. For me, it's yes, we have. And I think that's where, a book like this, the timing of something like this couldn't have maybe existed 10 years ago because we weren't past the point of really? Have we not read enough? And I've read so much and I'm still a hot mess. So what is fucking happening here?
Yeah, exactly. Mark points out that personal growth has existed on a mainstream level now for several decades. And yet our suffering seems to be at an all-time high.
Escalating.
Right? Anxiety, depression, suicide are on the rise rather than the decline.
Check this. Back in 2008.
Yep.
The self-help industry was valued at $11 billion each year.
Wow.
That's a lot of books.
And a lot of
motivational speeches, and seminars
and CDs.
Yep,
when there were
failed
CDs.
to help the 40 million people suffering from anxiety. The 14.8 million suffering from depression and the 7.7 million people suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. And in 2016 alone, the U.S. spent $446 billion on medications, almost half of the global market. Astonishing numbers, right?
Wow.
Yeah. So it points to one, I think, very important fact that unhappy people make companies a lot of money.
And self-help might not be helping.
And it generates a lot of money.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cash flow there because people who are unhappy are easy to control.
Interesting. This is a business. Unhappiness is a business.
And so when you keep telling people to be happy, right? And I've told you this story, maybe I've said it on air before, but I never thought about the fact whether I was happy or not. As a child, I never went, am I happy? Am I sad? What's my happy, sad quotient?
I think about that all the time.
Right.
But I was never introspective.
No, you weren't like, Now, I'm not saying there isn't a need to sort some shit out.
Yeah.
I agree. Sort it out. But it wasn't until I had a boyfriend who was maybe a little narcissistic, wanted things to be a certain way. And he was the one that started saying to me, just be happy. Why can't you just be happy? Now, I don't know his side, but I can say this. I was happy. I was happy, and I also was under a tremendous amount of stress. And so therefore was like I've said to you, sometimes I'm like happy that I'm sad. I'm like sad and I'm like, it's okay. This is just sad. This will pass. And happy's going to pass. The full on happy is going to pass. But the more you tell me to be happy,
right.
My point is the more unhappy I'm going to become.
Yeah, we're not happy when we're trying to be happy.
No.
That is something that actually sociology has proved, because sociology for the last 2 decades has been kind of studying and proving what results in long-term happiness, sustained happiness. And what they have found out of case study work, it's just research, that we're happy when, we're not thinking about it at all, when we're involved in a meaningful project, when we're helping others, when we're doing something that we're passionate about and we're, that brings us, pure joy.
Enter the self-help book that says, find your passion. Right?
Right.
I mean, look, what we do know is everybody's got an answer for something or for everything, Like everybody's got something to say. Everybody's got advice, whether they've been asked for it or not. So we're really just looking at shelf upon shelf of people going, I got something to say. I got an opinion on this, and that's great. But do you listen to everybody's opinion? And at what point do you start to form your own? And are you forming your opinion based on other people's information, or are you forming it based on your own experience? These are all just questions. I don't have the answer.
No, you don't.
I don't.
Ever. So we both read an article by Mark Manson that inspired, a lot of this episode. And interestingly, he makes the point that it's our obsession with ourself that is actually making us miserable.
Yep.
And when I read that and I sat with it, I thought, oh my God, like this hits home hard. I mean, of course, we giggle and joke.
We do giggle.
We do giggle.
We're gigglers.
that I've actually, written 3 self-help books. And I have been, a junkie for many, many years. And I realized that I have been incredibly self-involved.
Yeah.
As I have been,
I've been meaning to tell you that. It's so refreshing hearing you say it, though. I'm glad you said it, not me.
Yeah, here I am connecting the dots for everyone.
And see, the thing is, I haven't read a fucking thing, and I'm really not about me. In fact, I just don't have the time for me. I there's stuff I got to do. There's people I need to see.
Yeah, you definitely are just like, you're out there. You're doing it.
I'm just get her done, girl.
But it does.
That doesn't mean I don't hate myself sometimes. And that doesn't mean that I don't have all of the stuff. I've got all of the stuff. I don't have a syndrome or a disorder that I know about. My therapist says I don't.
I have a few suggestions.
I'm sure you do.
But we'll talk about that later. But
I don't feel self-involved over this stuff. I really, really don't. But maybe I need to investigate it a little bit more. I don't know.
But as we're talking about the ironic downfall of the self-improvement movement, as we have been encouraged to, involve ourselves in our psyche and, explore our habits and our behavior and trying to be happier and more peaceful, this constant focus on the self rather than being of service and helping others has perhaps created a neuroses, a depression, and anxiety in itself. This is funny.
It is funny.
It's disturbing.
It's funny because it's true, and it's funny because it's tragic.
Like, can we please choke on the irony and also laugh at it? Like, yeah, we're almost thinking about ourselves too much.
Yeah.
We're not almost. We are thinking about ourselves too much. And again, sociology has proven that one of the, habits that creates long-term happiness is focusing on the well-being of others, being of service, making a contribution.
But maybe interestingly, maybe that it's timing, and maybe like you and I are talking about this because we're there. We're at that point. Now, I can't speak for everybody, but there's nothing wrong with a little emphasis on what's going on with this psyche, this human, this thing, this, there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, I think
but individually and collectively, at what point are we like, okay, maybe we got this, is there a shift necessary? Our society's emphasis on productivity and work ethic, two byproducts of a capitalist and materialist system, keeps people unhappy and then convinces them that the only way out of unhappiness is to spend their money on quick fixes that don't actually work. So when you're suffering and looking for help, the self-help industry manipulates your weaknesses by selling you false hope. True or false?
Do you think they're in bed together?
I think there's some forking going on.
We talked about balance.
It's an interesting question, Susan.
Yeah.
Is the snake eating its tail?
Wow.
What's the snake? What's the tail? It's all the same.
But we did talk about balance in an episode.
Yeah.
And I think we get back to it. It's like, okay, it's not to say that you're supposed to like not concern yourself with your well-being and how you're feeling and living your best life. But at one point, do you put down the book, or you kind of like maybe don't go to the retreat and just involve yourself in the world and be concerned about things going on around you and maybe how other people are doing. Like, are we balancing this, the self-involvement with,
I mean, learn how to align with integrity,
out there and
just do that. I mean, but then, did I just become a self-help author? Learn how to align with integrity, find the right people, get mentors, or become mentored, or become a mentor. I don't know. But, I don't know. I also think that if you're going to pick up a book about critical thinking or logic. Start there. And then form your opinion based on that. I don't care what your IQ is. That's an interesting
idea.
Before you know what your IQ is, just
before you embark on this kind of thing.
Yeah, learn how to think. Learn how to think first.
Well,
think for yourself. That's parenting. That's parenting. But okay, here's where I think self-help is still necessary.
Okay.
Customer service.
Especially here in Canada.
The customer service industry sucks. When I'm sorry, but millennials, I don't mean to pick on you. I have two that I've raised. I love them, and they don't fit the stereotype that I'm about to lean into.
Oh, we can pick on them.
But it's like, they're aloof. It's like whatever, there's no customers, right? Maybe because customers have been pricks for too long and the tide had to turn where it's like, you don't get to tell us how to run our business. But it's far too often where I met with like, oh, I don't know. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. I was like, well, what are you going to do about it? Like, what system has been put in place in your company, and what do you as an individual think you could do for someone who's having a bad experience or didn't get what they are supposed to get? Do you think for yourself? Are you able to, handle a situation?
Yeah, I do think the service industry could integrate a lot of, self-help, personal growth practices like compassion and friendliness and being present with the customer.
Sure.
Right? Rather than making them feel like the eighth thing, on their, list of importance. It's like, you are the most important thing in this moment as we are talking. Right. I'm looking into your eyes. You've got my full attention. Mm-hmm. I mean, that is, I think, one of the most powerful things in customer service or customer experience, as they call it now. Mm-hmm. Just giving you that nonverbal cue that you're important, that you matter.
Yeah. I mean, that applies to presence. Everything. Like
that's mindfulness.
Yeah. Like if you're listening to this, like think about how often you are engaged with someone else and you're both genuinely exchanging interest, curiosity that's not about you. Like you're not about you. You're about them. They're about you. You're engaged. Mm-hmm. Like how many minutes, maybe seconds, in a day, do you have that experience where you're the most important person to someone in that moment? Like you and I talking right now, we're engaged in that.
Yeah, we're not looking at our phones.
No. And we're talking to each other. We're sharing opinion.
We're looking into each other's eyes.
Whether we agree with it or not.
We got eye contact.
We got eye contact.
Right? Like how many times in our day
are
we practicing this idea of being present with other human beings?
Yes.
Anyway.
And that might be the fix. That might just be the fix. Do you need a book to tell you how to do that? Or can you just not do can you just do that? you know?
Be here now.
Be here.
With me.
Is that Tolle? Is that Eckhart Tolle? Did you just quote?
It's very much
That's pretty much what
Eckhart Tolle.
This is why we still have to support self-help.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
God damn it.
You don't have to tell the junkie.
No.
That.
It's like we're on one side of the fence and then we both just go, boop, we're going to the other.
That's also Jon Kabat-Zinn.
Okay.
Who is
Who's
a mindfulness expert. And yeah. Like he's a big deal in the world of mindfulness. Right. And so, yeah, that's his mantra too. Be here now. Mm-hmm. He also says, wherever you go, there you are, which I love. Anyway.
Haven't we always said that? Oh no, it was, I'm not as think as you drunk I am.
Right.
That's what it was.
That's our mantra.
I totally got that wrong.
I forgot. Yeah. We're getting a little mixed up with Jon Kabat-Zinn and our philosophy. So Mark Manson thinks that a lot of the positivity that self-help promotes is just another way of numbing our pain, which we have mentioned a few minutes ago at the beginning of the episode. And what he means by, or what he is inferring when he says, we're numbing our pain through self-help, is that we're actually avoiding our pain. And I thought about that and I thought, God, it's true. Like self-help is all about focusing on what is going to help you feel good. And the truth is, getting good at feeling bad is the ironic gateway to feeling good.
Yes.
Like we kind of got to be a little bit more comfortable with being uncomfortable. Yeah. I mean, they say that a lot in fitness, you know, be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. But I think that's so important. Is like we're kind of like pushing down the pain. Mm-hmm. We're
self-helping and self-medicating. Do they go hand in hand? I don't know. Well, nobody wants to feel bad. That's the thing.
I know.
But you know what? Your best lessons come from those tough times.
And also, it's just about kind of like being okay with the hot mess that you are, your imperfections.
Yeah. I'm loving you.
But also the imperfections of your life.
Yeah. And like others.
I think we are. I think we're obsessed with having everything in perfect order.
Yeah.
Having everything sorted out. And certainly self-help drives us in that direction of, having everybody's gotta be happy and okay and living their truth and fulfilling their life's highest purpose and go.
I love how you're doing the robot right now.
I am doing the robot.
It's totally,
this is me kind of doing an action indicating order in my life or the desperate attempt at having order in my life.
You were saying something last night about chasing the thing. I don't know if it's not chasing the dragon. That's something else. But do you remember? It was something about like chasing. Do you remember that?
Damn. Were we drinking last night? No, we weren't. We were sober. Yeah, we were. Okay.
But I remember you said that and I was like, yes, it is. It is. We're chasing down this thing that we're never quite going to get. And I don't know if that's a pessimistic view. It might be. Welcome to me. But I'm not pessimistic. I'm a realist. Okay. All right. I'm an idealist.
I think you're a skeptic.
I am.
Which is different than a cynic.
It is totally different.
Yes.
I'm an idealist, but because I understand the way things are, I am a realist. Does that work?
Oh yeah, it's working.
Yeah.
For you.
It's working.
And I'm tolerating it. No. Yes. Okay. So I'll be honest and tell you that, throughout my self-help personal growth journey, I've been striving. I've been chasing down kind of that day where I'm like, I think I've got my shit together now. I think I'm happy. I think I don't worry as much. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How long was that moment?
No, it's never been. It's never come. I'm still a hot mess.
Okay. You want to hear something even worse?
I mean,
it was like 5 years ago.
Okay.
5 years ago. And you've known me 5 years, right?
Way too long.
So 5 years ago, I actually did have that thought. I was like, wow, I think I figured it out. I guess it's going to be pretty smooth sailing from here.
Isn't the ego wonderful?
I literally, honest to God, or whomever, I don't even, whatever. I said that. I don't know if I said it out loud. I definitely said it loud to myself.
Yeah.
I was like, I think I've worked through the stuff. And then, the last 5 years. Not so much, it turns out.
You've been a particularly hotter mess than perhaps other times in your life.
It got real hot.
Oh, and believe me, you've been keeping good company over here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But I guess that's also it is, get in good company and share your mess and be okay with it. Accept it. I mean, unless you're damaging somebody else somehow. I don't know.
Well, sure.
I mean, therapy, read a book, I guess.
Then you're going to maybe be pulled aside and put into to an institution of sorts. But other than that, we'll watch you flail about. It's fine. And you'll watch me.
Yeah.
But it's just like, it is interesting. This, the positive self-help stuff, sends this message that we're all like, we're all wonderful and we're destined for greatness. But then when we fail at being wonderful and achieving greatness
all the time,
we tend to turn on ourselves. I mean, this is an issue.
Yeah.
Right. So we're, being sent this idealistic, thought that, we're all going to fulfill, this purpose that, that we've been sent to fulfill. And we're all going to, be special and wonderful in our ways. And then we experience failure.
And the people who are writing about it and speaking about it appear to be the people who have figured it out, right? So they are living their best life or whatever it is. And so how you want to know how that impacts me? I'm like, oh, so I'm not good enough. With all the work I've done, I'm not there. Yeah. I didn't read I didn't write the book. I didn't like speak about it. I mean, you do, and it's like, but the reality is you're still human.
Yeah. And I think we just have to get better at being okay with the fact that sometimes we're going to fall short. We're going to screw up. We're not actually going to realize our potential for whatever reason. And things aren't always going to go the way that we want.
Yeah.
Like, what if we just got better? And this is what Mark's article really does focus on.
I love you, Mark.
And this idea that, there's a negative self-help idea
Ask me
here.
some of those. I want to talk to you about
being okay with what we would deem as negative. I mean, that's a whole can of worms there. It's like,
I like cans of worms. They're fun.
Well, I mean, what is negative and what is positive, Fanson, right? Nothing comes with a tag attached indicating either. So, I mean, that's a perception, that's a judgment in itself. But he is saying, what about just being okay with the fact that like shitty things are going to happen? You are going to be shitty. And like kind of just embracing the hot mess.
Yeah.
That you are.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's very interesting. Like, rather than doing the striving and chasing that you were, kind of recalling from our conversation last night, it's like, what about just being okay with how things are?
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
I think the not being okay, not obviously, it appears to, maybe I should speak from personal experience. It's often based on comparison.
Sure.
I'm trying to think of times when it's not. I'm not able to find that in this moment. But it's very often like, why can't I? Like for example, the happiness factor. Right? We'll go back to that.
Sure.
Like obviously, I have happy moments. You've seen them. You got one hand. You can count them. But like some people just have more sad than others, or appear to be like, and my example of that is I obviously have met people in my life and they are so happy. They're so happy. In fact, I don't trust them, but let's say it's legit. Some people really just are, they're happier, springier all the time. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't think we are one of them.
I'm not.
I know I'm not.
You're not.
No.
We're not. I think we're just like, and here's today, and then it's like, and sometimes we're blissed out. Sometimes it's, like right now, I couldn't be happier. Well, I mean, I could, but like I'm happy. I'm happy right now. Are you happy right now?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Because I'm doing something I love.
Sure.
I'm not trying to be happy here in this moment of
We're not trying it at all.
I'm just like, I'm happy because I'm doing this podcast with you.
Yeah.
Right? This is something that we're passionate about.
Yeah.
That is fulfilling, meaningful.
Yeah.
And so
the equation equals happiness.
I've always, thought of it like this now that I've, studied the science of happiness with the work that I do. It's like happiness really isn't something you arrive at. It is like a visitor that comes to, come to say hi. It's a feeling that sets in or arises within when you're just doing something that's in some way important to you.
Absolutely. And an accumulation of probably the choices that you have made.
Sure.
We're not, although we're all about the now, the now came from that. And it's going there. And I know you don't want to dwell on the past or think about the future and all that stuff, but you're a bag of bones and you're a belief system, break it or not. These things have accumulated. And so the more you lean into better choices or choices that align with who you are, possibly, the happy becomes more, it visits you more frequently.
Yeah. To your point, I think we can also look at happiness as a byproduct of what we choose.
Yeah.
What we choose to do with our precious time and what we choose to, think and believe as well. But yeah, it's like, well then here's the feeling.
Yeah.
Because you've gone and done that, here it is.
Right.
Rather than just trying to be fucking happy.
Yeah.
Just sitting there dwelling in the fact that you're not happy.
Yeah.
Just like, and there we get back to the point of balancing this, this obsession with self versus just get out there and do meaningful shit. Stuff that you're excited about, stuff that builds community. I know you play volleyball. I'm, out there at the curling club. It's that stuff. It's like, it's
and there might be
the process of living
listening to this and saying, you know what? That is so hard for me. I've come from some stuff and I'm not quite there, or I don't even know how or whatever. And they might say like, guys, I need to read inspiring stories. I need to have some steps that tell me how to get there. And I guess my question would be, are you applying those steps? Because that's it for me. I'm like, yeah, I do think we need some guidance. Absolutely. Maybe your parents did it for you. Maybe they didn't. Maybe a mentor did. Maybe some friends do. I don't know. Like we all have, there's opportunity for growth and for self-awareness. The question is, if you're going to go and seek it and read about it or align with a guru or many or whatever, are you doing that work? Are you in the practice? You could say you get in the practice. There's too many practices. It's too many. I can't keep up. It's blah, blah, blah. I get it.
It's overwhelming.
The scale will tip most likely, but start with asking yourself, am I doing that? Am I reading the book and going, okay, downloaded, and then, but I'm still having trouble. Are you applying the stuff that you feel you align with? That's it.
Yeah. I wonder if it's actually a natural path, process. We can use that self-help word.
Yes.
There, we found a way to say it. Where you do read them all.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh my God, it's all a bit much. I hate myself.
I have no choice now.
And then you kind of get to this point where I think you and I are, where it's like, we got to find a balance.
Yes.
And there's other ways.
Yeah.
Of, I don't know. I don't know. What is it? Self-actualization? I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, I think
Whatever
that your
you wanna
point
call it.
about like reading, like consuming this stuff and getting to know some of the language for yourself, the vocabulary. So it's a shortcut. You can be like, oh, I'm doing that right now. Like language surrounding care is important.
Yeah.
It helps clarify and organize your thinking. But to your point about consuming all of that, that's when I sort of came up with the phrase, I liked myself better when I knew less. But that doesn't mean that I want to know less. It just means now I have all this information. I know I'm supposed to do something with it. Am I doing that? How long am I stuck in a state of, I can't apply anything? Like, why have I read all this and it's not actually, I haven't achieved that Buddha. I haven't achieved that like nirvana. I'm not walking around blessing people because, don't get me started, Oprah. But sorry, that's another topic.
Are you not being the change that you wish to see in the world, Fanson?
But maybe I am. Mm-hmm. Maybe I am.
Or maybe you're just doing it enough, right? Okay, so I got to say, we did our podcast photo shoot at my loft a few weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And for the shoot, we had a lot of self-help books.
Ooh, we sure did.
Many from my collection, some from your collection.
I had like 4. Did I leave The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck at your place? Okay. I was looking for it.
Okay. I'll get it back to you.
Thank you.
So, I on my ping pong table that I have, thanks to your what do we call that? Fortitude, motivation, just scrappiness.
You talked about a ping pong table, and I put one in your house.
One. All right. So they're all sitting there because we had the photo shoot, and now what the hell am I going to do with all these books? I got to get them back in order. Yeah, of course. And so for the last few weeks, I've just been sitting there looking at the pile of books that I have read over the years, and it's giving me anxiety. Because first of all, I just feel like I need to reread them all.
Yeah.
Okay. It disturbs me that I don't really remember what they said. But also just like, yeah, oh my God, yeah, the power of now. Oh God, shit, I really do have to, think about being a bit more present, Susan. Come on. And then I'm looking at this title and this title and this title. I'm like, oh God, I don't think
was it working? Did it work?
Was it helping?
I mean, in a way,
I'm glad I read
right
them.
now, I'd like to say, I think it did. I think it absolutely did. And it does. It's like, it's just, when is it too much?
I know.
And if anybody's wondering how long is this episode going to go on, this is a 2-parter. Like we're 40 minutes in. You're still with us. We love you, and we still have a little more to go.
Yeah, I've got some ideas to throw out at you now based on this article.
Yeah, it's going to heat up.
Yeah, negative self versus positive self-help.
Love it. Bring it. I want to hear it. I want to dig in.
Okay, so 5 ideas that Mark Manson has thrown out. In his exasperation.
Very sexy way. Oh, sorry. What?
I think that's fair to say that Mark Manson is expressing an exasperation with the self-help movement. And so I thought I would, throw these out to you and see what you thought. So positive self-help versus negative self-help. Positive self-help tells you to trust your gut. Negative self-help understands that your gut is impulsive and self-serving and must be questioned via reason.
Right. So my gut reaction is trust your gut. Because I experienced a time in my life where my gut was told to take a back seat, based on circumstances. Like I stopped trusting my gut because I was kind of told I was wrong, that it wasn't quite, so I started to second guess my gut. Then I was like, no gut, all head. Mm-hmm. It's all coming from up here. Mm-hmm. And that did not work. It actually was damaging. And it took me years to learn how to hear that voice and trust my gut again. So I'm all for trusting your gut unless your gut's telling you to do some pretty messed up stuff. Otherwise, that's you talking.
Like stab
that's
people.
You talking to you. Yeah,
That needs reasoning.
Yeah.
That needs a logical, rational mind to say, you're very angry at that person.
Right.
And you want revenge.
Hey, look, think it. Just don't do it. You can't control every thought that pops into your head. You can't. But you can tell it to back off. You can tell it to go away. Thoughts just come in. They just come in.
Sure.
Just
because you think something doesn't mean it's true.
Right. You just let it go.
One of my favorite kind of mantras.
And your gut can say to you, it's not true.
I think discernment is the word I kind of use. Yeah. It's like, you want to follow that impulse. You've got that gut instinct, but hold on, let's just make sure we're,
not being impulsive. I'm not an impulsive person.
Impetuous maybe is a good word.
Very good word.
Right? When we're acting too quickly.
Yes.
When we're not taking that time to go, right? We're good. Yeah. This resonates, or whatever self-help word you want to use.
Right.
But there's a little bit of balance of mind and body there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway. Okay.
Yes. So that's how I feel about that.
So we agree with Mark in the way that there needs to be reason, but we also are very pro gut instinct.
It's perfect.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Here's another one. Positive self-help tells you to believe in yourself, to trust your own ideas as though they were true. Negative self-help recognizes that most of our ideas are terrible. Therefore, it's only action that matters.
So I have a problem with both of those.
Okay.
So the first one, read it one more time.
Yeah. Positive self-help tells you to believe in yourself, to trust your own ideas as though they were true.
Okay. So that's the only part of that I don't agree with. I think just as if they were true. I think your ideas, you have them, trust yourself. Yes, trust yourself. You can't trust anyone else if you don't trust yourself. Right? If you know that you're going to make a good decision, if you trust in that in yourself, that becomes who you are, but to believe everything you think is true, I don't agree with that.
Sure. Because it's all opinion and judgment.
And it's just like you would question someone else's thoughts or opinions with critical thinking. You should with your own as well. So that's what I think about that. I kind of like half of it and then it goes meh for me. And then the second.
But we can say that we do think believing in yourself is important.
I do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like we gotta have that confidence. We gotta have that, mojo behind.
Yeah. And not a false one. Not
no.
just like, I think I heard a quote once. Who said it? Somebody help me out with this. But it was like, I'm worthy.
I'm the only one here, by the way.
Okay. But you're not in my mind.
Well, I mean, I know there are
listening.
Millions
They're all here
listening, but I'm the only one that can help you in this moment.
Okay. So
I'm going to do my best.
Okay. Here it is. I am worthy because I am of this earth. I am worthy because I came from this earth. Mm-hmm. That's it. We all come from this rock and we go back to it. Mm-hmm. Any other belief I don't know about, okay? I'm not one of those, I believe this. Even atheists, I'm like, sorry, believing in nothing is still something. So
you have a point.
I don't know is my answer, and I like the exploration of stuff. But I'm worthy of all of the abundance and all of the everything, not just the abundant, like whatever, because I'm from this.
I like to think of it as birthright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of us.
Yeah. All that's
of
right.
Us.
Right. Like we're all special and no one's special.
And no one's special.
Right. Exactly. So
we're just worthy. We're worthy of whatever it is you want for you, or whatever, not even the want, like I need these new jeans. I mean, the believing in you, like just that.
Self-actualization.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's such a kooky word or a kooky phrase, but that is what we are. That is our birthright.
Yeah.
So negative self-help recognizes that most of our ideas are terrible. And you know what? He's right.
Yes.
Most of the shit we come up with is not
this is
really worthy of following through with, because it's just another moment in time where you created, this thought, this idea that very well likely
is crap.
Yeah.
It aligns with the positive one. It aligns with everything you say is true. So not everything you say is true, and not all of your ideas are great. Mm-hmm. So I like both of those. I would just sandwich those together and be like, by the way, not everything you think is true, and not everything. What was the second part? Not everything.
Yeah. Not all of our ideas are fantastic.
What's the second half of that negative one?
So negative self-help recognizes that most of our ideas are terrible. Therefore, it's only action that matters.
Right. And so that was the second part that I had a problem with, because I agree that action is the change. Like no, that's not what I mean.
Action is the only way that you're really going to understand the validity or the relevance of your idea. So if we're just, sitting around, thinking about our ideas and thinking they're wonderful, it's like, no, do it and then find out.
I guess it's just the absolute of the only thing that matters. I think action matters.
Yeah, he's saying it's only action that matters.
And I love him, but I'm just like, only action matters. I would, if he were here right now,
I mean, the flirting would be a bit much, but for me to watch.
Yes.
But okay, so we'll kind of say that's a little mysterious.
Yeah.
It's only action that matters. I do think that's the way that we find out if the idea is.
But to have the idea of something better, greater, or whatever it may be, to have the idea still matters.
I think so.
So I don't believe that only action matters. I believe having the idea matters, and putting something into action absolutely matters. That is the difference. There is the difference maker is the action, but having the thought still matters.
Yeah, actually, sociology. I'll just say one more thing about sociology. But sociology proved that when it comes to our happiness, having goals having goals is more important than achieving them. When it comes to our happiness, having goals is more important than achieving them.
But achieving them really helps your self-esteem.
Sure, that's all ego.
Okay.
But we do. We like throwing shit at the wall, and we like trying. So
sometimes I just like throwing shit at the wall.
There was that one time.
There was.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That was gross. Okay.
Right.
So another one. Positive self-help promotes supernatural beliefs designed to make you feel good in the moment, like God has a plan for your life. God never gives you something you can't take. When God closes a door, he opens a window. So negative self-help denies supernatural beliefs as harmful and unrealistic. Hell, negative self-help questions whether you should believe anything at all.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to be more in line with the second, the negative self-help, which is It's not like there's a big master plan. I don't personally live like there's a master plan. I mean, I think we differ here. But I don't know that for sure. I just don't, I don't generate from that. And I think, I don't want to speak for you, but I think you do.
I think this is a matter of spirituality, though. Supernatural beliefs. I'm thinking, okay, that's like believing in some kind of like unseen force. This isn't about religion. This is spirituality.
Although, just so you know, in his Everything is Fucked book, he does focus for a little bit on religion. Like you can make your own religion, and everything ends up being what you follow, what you believe.
Hey, dogma,
call it a religion.
Whatever gets you through the day.
That's right.
Right. That's a belief system. Or a story. That's what I think of religion as. Storytelling that's going to...
Absolutely. And Sapien took
over... faith.
Sapien took over Cro-Magnon because of Sapien's storytelling ability. And so therefore, here we are, Sapiens. And if you can tell a story, you can organize. And organizing is when you start getting shit done. Now, it can also go south and, bad shit happens. But anyway, back to your point.
Yeah. So I don't know. For me, I guess I'm all pro positive self-help for this one because I as a spiritual, thinker, as someone who believes deeply in spirituality, it's like, yeah, I do think my soul has come down here to experience certain ups and downs, all these adventures, and life is kind of working in tandem with my soul, coming down here to deliver a mission or achieve a mission. And life is also, orchestrating things and placing certain people and things in my path for my evolution, my growth.
Do you believe with that? Does that mean you believe you're special?
No, I don't think there's a uniqueness. I believe that.
Do you think I'm special?
Oh, that gets a hells yeah. Maybe not in the way that you're.
Not in the way I'm thinking.
I think we're all, spiritual beings having a human experience, and so I believe there's an omnipotent force. I tend to call it universe. This universal energy that's, that has sent down this soul to live out, certain things and be Susan Stewart.
Excellent.
So for me,
you're the positive self-help.
I'm going
on that
positive
one?
On this one big
Read
time.
the negative one because that's probably going to be me.
Negative self-help denies supernatural beliefs as harmful and unrealistic. So basically maybe he's suggesting that I'm giving my power away, not taking responsibility for my life. Anyways, negative self-help questions, whether you should believe anything at all.
Well, so here's where I differ. I agree, but I would maybe change the vocabulary of that, even though he is my sweetheart. I would say that, reiterating what I mentioned before, that I don't know the answers, but I am curious about what's possible. But I don't align with anything in terms of a belief or an absolute. So therefore, I'm really like in the critical thinking arena of like, does that make sense to me? I am of the belief we come from this rock, we go back to it. As I said before, that is what I know. I know that. I mean, unless this is some video game, I know that I'm birthed and my mother came from the ground and she, birthed me, and then I birthed others, and I'm going back to the ground, and then you're gonna, people are gonna eat me and breathe me, and like it's all happening right here, and this is so amazing. I don't know what else there is, but that's pretty effing cool.
But to say that everything that happens in your life is purposeful, that it's been well planned,
I don't know.
well,
I don't know if I
well
need
timed,
that.
well
and I
orchestrated.
Also don't feel like I need consequences to do the right thing.
Do you think there's random shit that happens? Like there is just like,
I feel like my life is all random shit, Susan. You know that.
It's interesting. Like, and I have this opposite belief that nothing is random.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. But look at us. Look at us. Two of us just sitting here.
I know, but
we have totally different opinions, and here we are.
I challenge you to look back on your life and not. I challenge you not to connect the dots to see how one thing led to another that led to that.
Well, sure, because things happened, and I was, and that's the way it happened.
So you don't kind of sit
I don't
back
think I'm on a chessboard.
So you don't sense that there's a little bit of magic going on.
Oh, there's magic
with the.
There's magic because life is awesome. It's awesome. And we can make miracles. And we have the ability to create all of these things. It's absolutely fabulous. And even in these times of a bleak outlook on the future with an environment alone, let's just say, I also think, look, we put our minds to something. Look at what we've done. It may not have worked out the way we really wanted it to, or maybe there's some regret, but that means if all of our minds, or there's enough minds and fantastic minds on creating an answer or something else, then that's possible too. And that's magic. That's a miracle. Sure. But it's happening right here. Mm-hmm. We're doing it.
But nothing happens for a reason.
Well, things happen, and then you can reason that they happened, because as humans, we reason. Mm-hmm. I don't know what an elephant does. I don't know what a tiger does. We reason. So yeah, we make reasons, and that's okay.
Yeah.
We also attach meaning to things. And we tell stories.
Yeah. I don't know.
And all of that's like kind of cool, unless it becomes kind of dangerous for yourself, or, for a collective, or for a country, or whatever,
Do you believe that you are a spiritual being?
I believe I'm energy, and I think we're all connected energetically in this place. And I think that that's phenomenal.
Do you believe in something called a sacred contract, where your life has some sort of kind of like blueprint, and that your soul kind of has agreed to endure and to enjoy?
Susan, have you met my dog, Walter? Do you know how much I love that little guy?
Yeah.
That was not an accident that he came to me.
Right.
Okay.
So there's a little twinkle there.
There's a little twinkle.
Okay. Little hope over here.
If you haven't met Walter, then you don't know.
So positive self-help encourages you to be more human, to be more emotional, indulgent, as we've talked a lot about here, and focused on yourself. Negative self-help demands that we evolve beyond what makes us human, that we fight against our natural prejudices, that we question our most deeply worn beliefs, that we remain resilient in the face of our inevitable failures. All that is good in the world came not from indulging our baser impulses and desires. It came from overcoming our baser impulses and desires.
I have had some pretty good times indulging, but I will say I agree with the negative self-help. I agree with all of that. That it is far better for us to overcome our prejudices and question what we think, and not always go like shoot from the hip base instincts and stuff like that. That we allow our intellect to be influential in the change. As long as it's well placed, I guess.
Well, that's the essence of evolution.
I just became a ball of verbal bullshit.
Stay with us, everyone, as Kelly Fanson finds her way home. This idea that we are, here to evolve. We are on, some path. I mean, we can't do that without examining these, long-standing collective belief systems and ways of being and ways of doing. I mean, I think a perfect example is, of course, the United States of America and their right to bear arms. Okay. So you do that because you've always done that. It's in some kind of constitution.
It was written.
But I think at this point, it's a little obvious that it's not working anymore.
Yeah.
What was that voice?
I don't know, but I loved it. I was just going to let you keep going.
Right? Like, I think we can safely say with much conviction that it's worth contemplating.
Okay. So do those people just need a little self-help? Should they just read a book? Maybe that's where it comes back full circle.
But just to do something because you've always done it that way?
No.
That isn't progress.
No.
Anyway, so, and of course the antithesis of that is, when there was the mass shooting in New Zealand a few months ago, there it was, the Prime Minister of New Zealand, she immediately.
She shut that down.
She immediately, started to pass legislation to
is that not
affect
logical?
the gun laws.
Is that not critical thinking?
Well, right? I mean, that's it.
This plus this equals this. How about we do this?
Yeah, we're fighting against,
greed. Greed.
These old ideas, and implementing something new because that is going to be better for humanity and ourselves. I don't know. I just think the gun control in the US versus, say, here in Canada or New Zealand, I think that's a perfect example of what happens when you don't challenge our prejudices and our deeply worn beliefs. So yeah,
it's
all right.
It's a
okay,
long
Mark Manson.
road.
I'm with you with that one.
It's a long road, and we're all learning. And some people need to just get some self-actualization happening. Is that it?
Oh, okay.
What the hell?
What was that? Okay, that's fine.
Know.
I'm going to give you one more, and then we're shutting it down.
I was about to. Yeah,
I got one more.
One more.
Okay. Positive self-help believes that you deserve to be happy, but negative self-help reminds you that you don't deserve anything. Check your sense of entitlement. Happiness isn't something you deserve. It's not a right. Like we have been talking about, it's a byproduct of our choices, like being okay with being a hot mess. And on the flip side, when shitty things happen, you didn't deserve that either. So stop asking yourself, what did I do to deserve that? Think of it this way. It's none of your business. Life doesn't owe you fairness. Sometimes shitty things happen. Now, what you do in response to that shitty thing is what's your business.
Hello.
Hells yeah.
Who could disagree with that? Mark Manson, get your butt in here. Turn around. I want to look at it.
I mean, I cannot agree with Mark Manson with this one.
Yes.
Like, this is so important for people to understand.
People don't like it. They don't like hearing that.
That, nothing's happening to us. Whether it's positive or negative.
But it sounds like if you believe that there's a blueprint and bad things happen, then it seems to me like you would believe that was meant to happen to you, as opposed to like, no, that just happened, man. It just happened.
I think there's okay. I think there's purposefulness to it happening.
Or purpleness.
I think you didn't deserve it in the way of like, I don't know, karma or something like that. Bad karma. Oh, karma's coming around to get me. That concept of being punished by some omnipotent force. I don't understand that.
Oh, I've wished some karma on some people.
Right? Like judgment doesn't exist on the other side. And what I mean by that is outside of the human experience, there is no judgment. So
there is nothing but the human experience. Anything we read, any religion, anything was created by a person at some point. I don't care if they were the first person.
True.
Anything we go, well, I don't believe that, but I believe that because that's spiritual. This, blah, 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 blah. It's like, yeah, somebody just made that.
Yeah. Like to deserve happiness or to deserve, something shitty happening to you, that means that there's some, force being outside of us deeming things, in a judgmental way.
Right. And
that can't be true, Fanson, because judgment comes from the analytical left hemisphere of the human brain. It's our ego. And I'm pretty sure there aren't brains floating in, the atmosphere above us or below us or around us. No, that's a concept of the human mind.
Yeah,
so,
you just got really psychedelic there.
Sure, there isn't some
force, sister. I am with you.
Like giving you points and taking away points. And
I'm also not down with deserve. I don't like that word.
No,
it's not ego. Like eat your dinner and you deserve dessert. It's like, if you've had a few rough years, for example, and someone says you deserve to be happy. It's like, because of that, I should get that. Like, no, man. Like, we deserve. What do we deserve?
That's taking free will out of our experience.
Forget should. Forget deserve. There's some words that just have to get off the table.
Well, yeah. To deserve something.
Yeah.
No. We got to take responsibility for our lives.
Yeah.
Do we have the option to be happy? Yes, we do, of course. Mm-hmm. That's, the freedom of choice we were born with. And do we deserve shitty things? Of course not. I mean, there's no one throwing down stuff because we're a bad person or something. Mm-hmm. It's just that life happens. And that's what Mark was making the point of, in the article and in his books. It's like, you know what? Life sucks sometimes. It's full of tough shit. Mm-hmm. So now what are you going to do about it?
What are you prepared to do?
We don't deserve an easy, simple ride. We just don't.
No. There's no entitlement to that. It just get down with what is. Start doing your work.
Embrace the imperfections of life and embrace the imperfections of yourself.
Listen to us. Wow.
Embrace the fact.
I don't mean listen to us. Listen to us.
Embrace the fact that you are a hot mess.
Yeah, I do.
It's okay. And you know what? Your life is a hot mess. Mm-hmm. And that's it.
I'm mostly unhappy when I'm walking around trying to pretend my life's not a hot mess. I'm not.
Well, you're not living your truth.
I'm not living my truth.
Okay.
Anyway.
So
it is pretty great though, but whatever.
It's now time
to
play that game. That is sweeping the podcast nation. That's right, kids. It's time for Name That Guru. Yes, this is when we read 3 self-help quotes to each other and the other person tries to identify what self-help guru said it.
I love the way you explain things.
Well, I just think it's nice for, this could be someone's first episode. They don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
They're like, what? Name that guru? What's that?
What's that?
Well,
and
I'll tell you what's that, Miss and Mr. Thing.
They've waited an hour for this now.
That's great.
Yeah. So thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for coming back. Are you ready? Is it you or is it me? Who's
you can
going
go first if you want. Sure.
Okay.
Throw it at me.
All right.
Vanson.
Okay.
I can take it.
You're gonna like this one.
Am I?
Yep. And they're not related to anything. I would quote Mark Manson.
Well,
all
yes, you
day.
would.
I got to put
you
him on the
wouldn't just
shelf.
quote him all day.
Yeah.
You would.
I would do something else all day, but come on.
I did Google him, by the way.
He's hot.
Yeah, he's cute.
I know.
He's 35 though.
So
anyway.
Okay, here we go. The practice of forgiveness is our most important contribution to the healing world. I'm putting the timer on.
Yeah. Okay. Who talks about forgiveness a lot? I'm going to give that one to Marianne Williamson.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah, she likes forgiveness.
Oh, I love it when you get these. I think I'm supposed to not like it, but I like it. Okay, my turn.
Okay, yeah. Okay, this is kind of in theme of today's episode. Pain is mandatory for all of us. It's what teaches us. Suffering is what's optional. That's what happens when we try to skip over the pain.
Landmark?
Well, I mean, this is the thing too. It all says the same thing.
It's all
Every
same.
book says the same thing. Every fucking
But
workshop
that's not
and
what
seminar
this
says the
game is
same
about.
thing. No, we're just,
I know. I'm with you.
I point that out all the time. It's
Yeah.
like, just pick the voice
It's
that,
like, here we go again.
that jives with you.
Yeah.
And that's exactly, I think Mark's books are a lot of Buddha's philosophy.
Yep.
He's just repackaged it.
Yep.
Anyway.
For today's youth.
Yeah. He's just jazzed it up.
For a movement that's gone too far. Go ahead. Who is it? Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just said that.
Lean into the pain. Don't step over stuff. I guessed Landmark. I didn't get it right. What is it?
It's Glennon Doyle.
Oh, I meant to say that.
Yes, I know you did. Glennon Doyle's interesting. She really wants us to embrace the hot mess that we are. And so, yeah, I really like her. Yeah, I think you would actually.
I would rather have a glass of wine. That's all I have to say.
Well, yes, I know we'd all like to be drinking right now.
I'd rather have a glass of wine
we're doing
with
our
these
work right
people
now
than read
Vanson.
their books.
I
Sit
know.
down. Let me know what's going on with you and all your wisdom. Way more exciting. Okay, is it my turn?
Yes, read it to me.
Okay. See yourself as a work in progress.
That is, oh God, it's a woman. I feel like it's a woman. Is it a woman? No, it's a man. I don't know. Wayne Dyer.
No, you won't know it. Maybe you would. Brian Tracy. And I only chose it because I love the name of his book, Eat the Frog. Eat that frog. Because I love the expression of that quote, if you swallowed a frog every morning, your day only looks better from there. Something like that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Do you know that quote?
Not aware of the frog.
This must be why I live my life so well.
Yeah.
Because
You're eating frogs every morning?
I'm eating frogs every morning and going, well, I guess it's only uphill from here. All right, you go.
Accepting means you allow yourself to feel whatever it is you are feeling at that moment. It is part of the isness of the now. You can't argue with what is. Well, you can, but if you do, you suffer. I emphasize the word now.
Eckhart Tolle.
That's right, Fanson.
I love you. You made it easy.
Well, I'm just, throwing you a bone.
Look, you didn't even have to point at me when you said now. As soon as I heard now, I was going to guess Eckhart Tolle. He's coined the now, hasn't he?
No, it should be like, the now TM.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, this is my last one. Here we go.
Here you go.
Play is often talked about as if it were a relief from serious learning. But for children, play is serious learning. Play is really the work of childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Jeez.
I know.
Am I familiar with this person?
Yes.
Who talks about play? Martha Beck.
No, break it down. Break it down.
She talks a lot about play.
Go way back.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going way back at the beginning. Hey, like
even further back.
Stephen Covey.
Even further back.
Jesus. Oh, is this like a real one? Who is it?
Mr. Rogers.
Oh, that's cute. He's self-help.
He is. He was self-help for kids.
And adults.
And for adults, yeah.
You know, be kind to your neighbor. Oh, we're still working on that,
He's the
sir.
best self-help. That's all you need. You just need a little Mr. Rogers in your life.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, one more for me, and then we got to let these people go.
A thought is harmless unless we believe it. It's not our thoughts, but our attachment to our thoughts that causes suffering. Attaching to a thought means believing that it's true without inquiring. A belief is a thought that we've been attaching to, often for years. So this, I will give you a little hint here. This woman does like her, and I'll get another clue. Her work is all based on examining your thoughts, like doing an inquiry into your thoughts. Her last name is what would be considered a woman's first name. I'm giving it to you.
And what's
here.
her first name?
And what's her last name? Okay.
Let's just say I failed because
That's
everyone
okay.
expects me to.
Oh,
and that's not a put down. That's just the truth here.
No judgment.
Yes, but you're the expert.
Oh, it's hard to identify.
I'm the cynic.
Quotes.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness.
Tell me who it is.
We're not setting ourselves up for success with this game. Not at all.
Not at all.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Accept ourselves.
Stuart Smalley. Who is it?
Byron Katie.
Oh, okay. Byron Katie.
Yeah, I think you kind of dig her stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, anyway.
Okay, good advice. Wow. This was a beast.
I loved every minute of it.
Yeah, me too. It was
Good
really
talk.
fun.
That's what they say, right?
And we were
Good talk.
happy. We were happy.
I
then.
definitely was happy doing this episode.
Yeah.
Because I'm passionate about this stuff. So
Yeah.
there it is.
It feels
I don't know.
good.
I might be miserable driving home.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Probably.
Probably.
Traffic's going to get all backed up and, we're going to curse and complain, but we're happy. Maybe some people were happy listening.
You never know.
Let's just chalk that up to success right there. Well done.
Thank you, Fanson.
Thanks, Stuart.
Well, you
This is the longest goodbye.
It is. It's like you hang up. No, you hang up. Well, you're Kelly Fanson.
And you're Susan Stewart.
And
we're still a hot mess. We'd like to thank our sponsor, Purple Jade Wellness Center, for your support. Thanks also to Monkey Junk, the Juno Award-winning blues band consisting of some of the best people and musicians we know. We'd also like to thank and give a 3-minute hug, because self-help says that's more meaningful, to the Pod Plant and Mike Wixon.
And hey, why not subscribe or follow our show? And please, for the love of Oprah, give us a rating and review on your iPhone podcast app. And if you're into social media, you can find us on Instagram at Still a Hot Mess Podcast, and like us on Facebook at Still a Hot Mess. And thank you, Fanson.
And thank you, Susan.
You make a mess of me.